Hey everybody, Sean Holsinger here from holsingersflyshop.com, bringing another time video again as always. And this time it's another nymph pattern, and this one's a really cool one. It's a sulphur pattern, and sulphurs are the first big hatch that we really look forward to. Well, actually I guess granum's in my area, but then the first big mayfly hatch is the sulphur hatch. And it lasts for a while here in the east where we're at, and so it's a lot of fun to fish. And this is a really cool little nymph pattern that's going to be a great imitation for that. It's two-tone. It's that brown and yellow color, which the sulphurs which are. And it's just a lot of fun to tie too. It's not real hard, and it's going to be a fish catcher for you. So let's give it a try. Let's get into tying it here. I'm going to show you a picture of it in the vise and then the material list to tie it. Alright, there you see the fly in the vise, a nice two-tone fly. Let's get into tying it. For a hook, I'm using a Firehole 321. This is a size 14. And for the bead, I'm using Firehole bead. This is Mounds color, and it's a 3.0 millimeter. And for thread, I'm using Nano silk, and this is 12-watt Nano silk. So we're just going to put that on there, and I'm going to wrap it back around the bend here a little bit to where I want my tail to go to. And now we're going to put the tail on. For a tail, I'm just using some Coq De Leon fibers, and I'm going to take off, I don't know, 6 or so of them. 6, maybe 8. I like a little bit. A lot of guys, it's a mayfly. A mayfly only has 3 tails. Well, I can't barely see them, so how's a trout going to see them underwater? So I always like to add just a couple extra. Just a personal preference thing to me. I don't think it makes a difference. We're going to start them on there, and we're going to make sure they stay on the back. And I want them to go just around the bend a little bit like that, you see there. And I want them to lay off the back. Now, we're going to cover that back up, trim off our extra. The next thing I'm going to put on is the back of this fly. For the back of the fly, I'm using some stretch tubing. This is medium brown. And I'm just going to start it up here on top. I'm going to couple loose wraps. And then I'm going to pull it real tight. And as I pull it tight, I'm going to pull it back. And what that's going to do, that's going to thin it, stretch it out, and it's going to thin it down and not make my fly so bulky. And then we want to wrap it right back to the tail, and when we get it over the tail, just going to cover it all back up. Okay, now I could have beforehand, I should have, but I didn't, put a piece of wire on here. For wire, I am using some Sculpin olive small ultra wire. And I like to put this on the side. You can put it on the top, wherever you like it. But I usually just put it on the side closest to me. And then I'm going to wrap it back right to that tail too. Now we're going to add a little bit of flash to this fly. To do that, I'm using some Mylar Pearl Mirage. And this is the medium size. And I'm just going to tie that down right on top of the back, right on top of that rubber tubing that I just put down there. And again, right back to the tail, and then back forward with it. Now, what I want to do is I want to look at the bottom here, and I want to make sure I got a nice, smooth, and even body, and I want that yellow thread to shine through. So I'm just going to wrap it up a little bit to smooth it out, and get all that yellow covered down there. Make sure the body is yellow on the underside of the fly. Okay, there. Now I didn't build it up too much, but you can see I got that nice yellow underbody. So we're going to take this Mirage tinsel, go right up over the back. I'm going to hold it tight there and tie it down. And then I'm just going to tweak it, make sure I get it in the right spot with my fingers and hold it there as I tie it down. Trim that off. Now you could leave that on there and you could use it for the flashback here in a little bit, but I like to go a size bigger, so we're just gonna cut it off there. Now we're gonna lay this rubber tubing, stretch tubing, over the top, and we're gonna roll it down there, get her tight, and tie it down. When it's on the top, we're gonna tie it down nice and tight. And I actually pulled that a little tighter than I wanted to, so I'm gonna let it out and tie it back down again. Because what happened was I stretched it out and it became thinner than my Mirage tinsel. So right now you can see it's all tubing over that tinsel. The tinsel's not coming out the side. That's what I want. Now I'm going to wrap this back up here a little bit to make my thorax, and we'll trim this off. Okay, now we're going to hold this rubber tube in place with my wire. So we're just going to start this wire on here, and as I wrap, I'm going to go loose over the top, hold it in place with my finger, and pull it down tight so I don't twist over that tinsel. I want to stay right on top of that tinsel, so it gives me that nice opaque look through it. A little bit of flash to it, which I like. And then once I get wrapped up to the front, we're just going to tie this off. Okay, there you can see no tinsel showing out the sides. That's just how I want it. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with a piece of large Mirage tinsel here. And that's one of those 3 times fast things. I'm not going to try it. So we're going to tie that down. And I want this section to be about 1/3 of the fly. And then for the thorax here, we're going to use some Hares ear Prism, SLF Prism dubbing. I wanted a brown color for this, and this is a nice brownish yellow, which is what we're looking for in a sulfur. So we're just going to dub a nice little noodle on there. Cover this all up and not make it too thick. Like, you do for sure not want it bigger than that bead. Like there, I got a little bit thick, but what's going to happen is it's going to get pulled down here. So you see my thickness there. I didn't overpower it. We're going to pull this tinsel up over the top. It's going to make a little flashback for us. Make a couple nice tight wraps. Have that pop down in there. And then I can trim that off. We'll whip finish. And then I'm just going to come in, I'm going to turn that a little bit if I need to. Put a little bit of medium viscosity up on top for my shell back. Just to protect everything. This will lock my thread in place. There again, I'm not overpowering it. I don't want a big hump on the back there. I just want to lock that in. Cover that up. And then I'm going to take my dubbing brush and just lightly brush that out to give it a leggy look. And there you go. Alright guys, I hope you like that pattern. It's a really simple one, and if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times in my videos. Change the color of the fly. Here, right here, you see another one I tied. This one I tied in olive. This is a generic pattern. It's meant to be tied different ways, different colors to imitate the fly that's in your stream that you need to imitate to match the hatch. That olive one looks very cool. You know, just downsize it for tied in like a 16 and 18. If you want to be daring and tie that in a 20, go for it. For a blue-winged olive hatch, it'll work great for you. You know, just mess around with other colors. Browns will definitely work great. This will work great for in a black too. And it's not that hard. That's the great thing about it. It's simple and it's generic, which is 2 things that catch fish. And have fun tying, guys. That's what I tell you all the time. If you need the materials to tie it, you can find them on our website, holsingersflyshop.com. You know, I sell these flies too. If you'd like to place a custom order, holsingersflyshop@gmail.com. That's what I do during the week is I tie flies and shoot videos. So thanks for watching, everybody. Again, until next week when I bring you another video, I'm Sean Holsinger.